What if I told you that Kody Brown's love for Robyn has pushed him to the edge, and now he claims he's been bitch slapped just for it? Fans are furious over favoritism, ex-wives are speaking out, and critics say he's chasing conflict, but Kody insists there's a divine reason behind it all. Could his obsession with Robyn trigger the ultimate family meltdown on Sister Wives Season 19? You won't believe what's coming next. This revelation could change everything for the Browns forever. Sister Wives Kody Brown claims being
so that way I felt
slapped
needed
for loving
because
Robyn.
we talked.
Sister Wives Season 19 is now on its tell-all segment after the emotional finale. The last few episodes revolved around the tragic death of Janelle's son, Kody. But aside from the loss, viewers have called out Kody for his favoritism towards Robyn, which has grown over the recent seasons. Kody is now left with Robyn after Christine, Janelle, and Mary left. But Kody has something to say against all the critics revolving around his love for Robyn. Keep reading to see his shocking statements. Sister Wives. Kody Brown wants to be monogamous with Robyn. In one of his confessionals during Season 19, Kody expressed his desire to enter a monogamous marriage with Robyn. According to the Sister Wives star, he had been in a plural marriage for so long, and they failed with it. He also felt like he was self-sabotaging, adding that there were days unfair to Robyn. He even thought about leaving his relationship with Robyn as well. Kody went on to say that he failed to recognize what a struggle would mean for his wives. He tried to convince himself that he did it on purpose, even though he loves his ex-wives. Kody said that he's now in a very happy place with Robyn, saying, "I'm very pleased and happy at this point from the experience that I've had to be in a monogamous marriage with you." Kody claims being bitch slapped for loving Robyn. TLC recently released a new preview for the upcoming tell-all of Sister Wives Season 19. It features Sukanya Krishnan's interview with Kody. During the scene, Kody was asked about all the criticisms he gets for having favoritism towards Robyn. Sukanya said that polygamy is supposed to feature equal love for every wives. But Kody has a different view on polygamy, explaining that people love each other differently. He explained, "Your relationship with all your children is different. Your relationship with all your friends is different. There are ones that do different things, that have different fulfillments, and stuff like that." Kody went on to say that a person would find a higher love from others, and he thinks he's getting slapped for it. He said there was a divine aspect in his love for Robyn, but nobody seems to appreciate it, saying, "I'll tell you what. There's a divine aspect about my relationship with Robyn, and we have been bitch slapped for it." Kody also wants peace in his relationship with Robyn, but he's getting frustrated about being called out for loving her. Sister Wives. Kody Brown accused of chasing conflict. Some Sister Wives fans on social media are also accusing Kody of chasing conflict for a sinister reason. According to the poster, it was obvious that he's becoming more aggressive towards his wives. Mykelti has also shared that her father has alienated his older children even more since Garrison passed away. This led to speculations that Kody is looking for trouble just to stay in the show and provide more storylines for TLC. Now I am uncover. Sister Wives Kody Brown says rift with his kids isn't because he did something wrong. Years into his rift with his kids, Sister Wives Kody Brown is willing to hold space. But, he stressed on the December 21st episode, the issues aren't because they are I did something wrong and offensive. To hear sister wives Kody Brown tell it, his ongoing rift with most of his adult children has little to do with the sins of the father. While the family patriarch was willing to mend things with his former bride Christine Brown Woolley on the long-running TLC series December 21 episode, he wasn't interested in hearing her husband David Woolley espouse on the family feud. After Kody apologized to his second wife, who announced their separation in 2021, for saying he never loved her and being the freaking victim, because I wasn't, David asked if he could provide a bit of advice. Start with your kids, offered the widower, a father of 8 himself. Show that part. Because the women have moved on, but your kids still need to heal. But Kody, at odds with most of the offspring he shares with exes Christine, Mary Brown and Janelle Brown, wasn't willing to tend to that particular wound. Noting that he'd set a boundary with his kids and I'm setting that boundary with David and Christine, the father of 18 explained in a confessional, "My whole purpose here is to apologize to Christine. Not to David. Not to anybody else." Besides, Kody added, he worried that getting into the particulars of his feud with his children will bring me back to an angry place. His issue with David offering his 2 cents, Kody explained, was that he's kind of just on the opposite side of this. What's more, though David has spent time with the 6 children Kody shares with Christine, Aspen Thomas, Mykelti Padron, Peyton Brown, Gwendolyn K. Ross, Isabel Brown and Truly Brown, he really just doesn't know what's going on, the family patriarch insisted. He thinks he does. He thinks he understands polygamy, but he only has a small perspective on it. And Kody's viewpoint is that the friction stems from his splits with Mary, Janelle and Christine. Those deteriorations happened as a party, not as an individual, stressed Kody, who remains married to 4th wife Robyn Brown. My bad experience with my children and their pain comes from an experience that we were in together, not that I did something wrong and offensive. And now, he continued, I'm willing to have the conversation. I'm willing to hold space. Dad, you did this, you did this, you did this. I'm willing to hold that space. What David and Christine did agree on was that everyone and their mother shouldn't be running interference. You guys can advise my kids to communicate with me, stressed Kody, but I shouldn't have you guys involved in my relationship with my children. Agreed Christine, it's your relationship with your kids. For David, he left feeling he'd tried his best. When he cut me off on it, I'm like, okay, I had to say what I said just to make sure, explained David. Because I am around his kids and I do see them hurt and I'm hoping that he'll reach out to every one of them and it's not just on his terms. It's on their terms, too. Trust me, it doesn't work that way in a relationship with your kids. For her part, Christine had no intention of making sure what happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas. With her, Kody and David making a trip to the Speed Vegas racing venue the afternoon after their tense talk, I want to be able to go home from this and my kids to say, how was it with Dad? And I'll go, it was awesome, she explained. They need to know that it's completely fine to hang out with him. In order to get on the right track toward a reconciliation, she continued, they need to go have fun with their dad and not just sit and have a meal and have a conversation. Because at this point, many of Kody's kids have already delivered their thoughts. Check out what they've said about their fractured relationships. Gabriel Brown. For Gabriel Brown, it was far too late for Dad Kody Brown to say sorry. Initially at odds over Kody's intense COVID restrictions, they continued to keep their distance even as stay-home orders began to lift. Kody's issue, recounted Janelle Brown, who shares sons Logan Brown, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown and Gabriel, as well as daughters Madison Brush and Savannah Brown, with the patriarch, was that he felt his kids hadn't been loyal to him and his rules. He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology, Gabriel detailed to Janelle in an October 2024 episode of Sister Wives. Eventually I was just like, hey, unless you're, like, actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore. He came back a couple of days later and texted me. He's like, hey, I've been, like, thinking about what you've been saying. I forgive you, please forgive me. I was like, forgive me for what? So tight with his dad he used to accompany him on business trips, he remains confused about what he did. But, he noted to Janelle, I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Isabel Brown. Kody may have meant for his love to be multiplied, but his time with his 18 kids has definitely been divided. Which is why Isabel Brown feared that when David Woolley married mom Christine Brown in 2023, he might fully take over the role her father once played in her life. I worry, a tearful Isabel shared in a confessional on a November 2024 episode, that my dad and the chance of having a really close relationship with my dad is slowly going away. Not that she didn't appreciate David as a stepdad. He comes off as a very present dad with his children, so I mean, how lovely would that be, right? She noted. So I would love to have a relationship that is as amazing with my own father. And she's still holding out hope, admitting in a November 2025 episode, my dad and I aren't like, close, 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 close. Still, why she thought of Christine as both mom and dad, she wouldn't call her relationship with Kody, who refused to fly cross-country when she had back surgery mid-pandemic, non-existent. I mean, he's still my dad, she insisted, and I love him. Kody Brown. If Kody had his way, Kody Brown, one of Christine's 6 kids, wouldn't say much of anything about him. Speaking with YouTuber John Yates in January 2023, Kody recalled receiving an, out of the blue, phone call from his dad. It's like an hour-long conversation and it goes really, really well, he recounted. And I'm like, okay, I might be getting my father back. This is wonderful. Then he called his mom. Talking to Christine, also mom to Aspen Thompson, Mykelti Padron, Gwendolyn K. Ross, Isabel and Truly Brown. Kody learned that Kody had been working to convince producers not to let his children trash him, trying to put it in our contracts that we are not allowed to say anything negative about him on our platforms. But it was a deal he couldn't close. My mom was like, no, you're not allowed to tell our children what they can and can't say about you. You have to earn their love back, explained Kody. And I realized he didn't call me because he wanted to talk to me. He called me because he doesn't want me talking negatively. Gwendolyn K. Ross. Admittedly, Gwendolyn doesn't fully recognize the Kody that parents his 5 kids with wife Robyn Brown. It hurts so much to see him be a good father to others when I didn't really get that much, she acknowledged in a February 2023 YouTube video of watching him with youngest children Solomon Brown and Ariella Brown. And while she's happy they get an active father, she noted, I Don't remember coming home from kindergarten or anything and seeing my dad being happy that I ate all my lunch, or that I made a friend at school. That being said, she was still willing to play nice. In a January 2023 YouTube video, she labeled their relationship as very flip-floppy. In person, my dad's sweet to me now, noted Gwendolyn, who invited Kody and Robyn to her and Beatrice Queiroz's July 2023 wedding. We had our differences in the past, but we're getting better. And since we're not around each other as much, we can't really be angry with each other as much. But when she tunes into the Sunday night episodes, she added, I do tend to dislike him a little bit. And I just have to remind myself that he's going through a difficult time and it's just hard on everybody and, you know, he's still my dad and he's still kind to me. Mykelti Padron, one of the few Brown kids who was still close to both Robyn and Kody and Christine and Janelle, Mykelti took on the role of peacekeeper during Kody's 3 divorces. But in the years since, she seems to have resigned from Team Kody, giving her take on the rift months after she and husband Tony Padron made the move to North Carolina with their 3 children. I think that if he took more accountability in any of his actions, his kids, maybe not all of them, but at least some of them, would reach out, she noted during an October 2024 fan Q&A shared on the Instagram account @withoutacrystalball. Instead of blaming the children, or blaming how they feel about his relationship with his other wife, or blaming the parents, or blaming gossip or whatever, if he just said, look, I understand I did blank wrong. I'm sorry. Can we talk about it? I feel like that would go such a long way. As for his stance that he shouldn't need to beg his children to repair their relationship, she wasn't having it. No matter what happens between myself and my kids, I would always sit outside that door, knock, apologize and ask, and ask, and ask, and just continue to try to do whatever I could to make that relationship stronger, the mom of 3 insisted, before referencing Kody's claim that his former wives had metaphorically stabbed him in the back. I feel like that's what you do as a parent. Sometimes you just have to take the knife in the kidney, get over it, and apologize. Like this video if you're shocked by Kody's confession. Comment below. Do you think Kody's love for Robyn is fair, or is he causing more drama? Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Sister Wives spoilers and shocking updates. Watch next. Check out our playlist on Sister Wives Season 19 Secrets and Conflicts. You won't believe what the family is hiding.